So let's start by downloading the DEMs from the government website. There's the URL if you don't have it. The tile that we want to see, the 10K derived product. And might as well slap on property. This property right here lies on 2 DEM tiles. So we'll get to do a merge in QGIS. So let's start by clicking our left tile. And we're looking for the DEM. Make sure you pay attention to the age of the data. This is 2019. That goes into our cart. I'll click on to the other side of the property, also a 2019 DEM. Add, and now you may download. So once they're downloaded, they come in as a zip format. Obviously unzip. Extract here. And the file that you're going to want to be using in QGIS is the .tiff. It's the largest file outside the zip. Now we'll open up QGIS. Just open up a basic project. Some of you may be wondering about your projection. It's down here in the right hand corner. Doesn't really matter what it's in at the moment because you can always reproject when you export it. And typically it's sometimes in WGS84, but right now it's already in the right projection for this data. Shouldn't make a difference because it will give you a warning. Okay, so let's bring the data in. So we'll just drag our TIFF file right onto the work screen. There's 1, 2. So we can see here, there's clearly a dividing line. Might be a bit of overlap, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to end up merging them. So to merge, we're going to want to go to the raster drop down, miscellaneous, and merge. Okay. Grab your 3-dot button next to input, select all, run. Okay, so now we can remove the 2 separate DEMs by selecting with control, right click, remove layer. And as you can see, merged is now one piece. If you want to change it into hill style, which some of you might be familiar with, I just right click, hit properties, and under symbology, render type, hill shade, and apply. We'll just leave it on this one for now. So now we're going to want to import the shape file outline of our property. This I just made on microsurvey, and I just offset it 20 meters just so we have nice coverage over the property. And I exported it, yeah, as a shape file. I'm pretty sure you could import DXFs, and there's other ways to go about this. So I'll show you the shape file. When you export it, comes with a bunch of packets. Just drag the .shp right onto the file. And there we are. That's the outline of our property. Not sure if I offset that, but it's fine. So if we want to see underneath, we can go to our properties. And under simple fill, symbology, fill style, no brush. And we should be able to see what's going on underneath if you know there's a ditch that you need to encompass. Now, someone was mentioning to me that you can only have a million points on the free version, so I'm going to show you how to clip the DEM to hopefully help you with that issue. We'll go under raster, extraction, clip raster by extent. Input is the merge layer, clipping extent. We're just going to use our shapefile. It just does it in a rectangle. We'll hit run, close, and now we can remove our merged. And we can drag the clipped underneath shape, and there we are. Next up, we want to make a grid of points if you're looking to extract CSV values. The Lidar data is provided to us in 1 meter intervals, so you can't go much smaller than that. Most people I've dealt with like to deal with 7.5 to 10 meters because the data can be overwhelming. So we'll go to Vector, Research Tools, Regular Points. Extent, we'll just go with our DEM, which is clipped, and this is your spacing. So, as I said before, let's just make it for clarity, let's just go for 20 meter spacing. We'll just hit run, close. So right now these are just void points. They have X and Y, no Z value. So next we're going to be assigning Z value from the DEM to the points. To get to that, we want to make sure we have our processing toolbox open. It's this button here. And we're going to be looking for the tool sample raster values. Great, there it is. Input layer, regular points, as we have there. Clip extent, it's going to be output as sample. So we'll hit run. Close. We can turn off regular points. So now these sample points, they now have a Z value relative to the DEM. So now we want to export these points into a CSV. Seeing that we have a bunch of points outside of our property that we don't want to clutter, we're going to select everything within the polygon. So how we're going to do that is we're going to make sure that our sample is selected. We're going to go to Vector, Research, Select by Location. So we're going to be using the sampled points are within our shapefile. So that's going to select only the points that are within our shapefile. Going to hit run. Great, it selected them. So now we're going to export, right click, export save selected features as, so we'll only deal with the ones that are highlighted. And we'll just save that to our desktop. Where'd that go? And we'll just go sample. And then this is where you can select your projection. So here we're going to do Nova Scotia MTM Zone 5, that's where the project is. Geometry type point, include Z, and our geometry. It's going to export as an XYZ. We're not going to add it to the project because we know where it's going. So now that I've exported it, let's have a look at it. And as you can see, it's in easting, northing, elevation ID. So you just have to play around with it in your Excel, which is not an issue. And your elevation is your sample value. I'm sure there's ways to do it more efficient, but this is what works for me.